Hey everybody, we've got a little install slash small review that we're going to do on some new stuff that just showed up today. So we just got in the mail today these mounts from a company called Proclip, and they make two different mounts that work in the 4Runner. One is supposed to go right about here on the dash, and the other goes over the left vent, at least what they show in their photos. One of the things with these 4th gen 4Runners, nobody's making any kind of dash mount or anything because, well, it's a padded dash. There's a couple companies that make one that goes like up and over the radio here that you can then mount stuff on. The last one I saw was back ordered until, well, here in a couple weeks. They were expecting them in, but not having it in stock is just a thing I don't really enjoy. So we're going to try this out, see what it looks like. We've seen some videos on these products before, but not a whole lot, and nobody using these on a off-road slash overland rig or in the 4Runner. All right, so let's see what we got here. So the first one is the center mount, which should be the one that goes down here. So let's pop this open. And side note, these are not sponsored or anything. We did pay for these outright. And what we're hoping for is this one. We've got some mounts coming that should be here tomorrow. Hopefully mount a iPad here for being able to use for our maps, and then utilize the one up here to relocate my phone, which is currently on a suction cup mount on the window. It works, but it's kind of, blocks the view, and when the temperature changes, it likes to fall off. So we're going to relocate that. We have a new mount coming for that. That's going to be a charger mount. All right, so we grabbed the wrong one first. Let's go. So the center mount was actually the top one. I want to do this one first. So let's see, Proclip angled mount. So that should be the one for over there. Pull this bad boy out. So in the bag, we have this mount. Looks like we've got a little bit of 3M adhesive VHB on the back. And it does have kind of a little hook. So I guess it's going to hook over a little bit. Now, these are apparently pre-drilled for amps or similar mounts. Looks like the holes do not go all the way through. Looks like they've just got a pilot hole. So you can use a screw instead of having to use a nut. And then looks like we have a gap opener tool. I believe that's for in here somewhere. Supposed to pop that open. So let's take a look at the instructions here. So open the glove compartment door. Okay. So didn't read the whole thing here real quick, but there's a curved part and a hook part. I think you can see that. Hopefully we're supposed to peel the tape off, stick that on there, and then peel the tape off and open the gap and snap this over the hooked part. So it should end up right about there. So let's take a look here and see what we got. And the gap opener tool is for prying open the gap back here to give a little bit more room for it. All right. Well, never one to read the instructions fully, just skimmed it. See what we got here. So let's peel off. Imagine this is going to be a pretty strong mount with having this VHB tape as well as kind of snapping into that point. Always fun to get that off. All right, so we stick this. Yeah, according to their pictures, they've got some black and white pictures. It just goes all the way across the top here. Do that, and then we're gonna stick this little guy. All right, I relocated the camera here so you hopefully have a better view. And we're just gonna try and wedge this guy open. This is definitely, it's not hard, it just doesn't want to open up. The gap up here, up top, is what we're trying to get into. Check the instructions. It says just put the opener right about here. Just wedge that bad boy in. It should open that gap up, but our plastic is wanting to go in not really giving us a gap. Aha! There we go. All right, so I just kind of had to wiggle it around, and the top finally snapped in, and that allowed me to kind of push the bottom in. And she's on there now, and there's that VHTB tape behind there. We'll see how it works. Hopefully that's heavy duty enough to hold an iPad. It feels pretty strong, especially when we're going to give it, you know, a good 24 hours for that tape to set up there. And it was a little bit of a squeeze grip to grip it. All right, so on this one, it says in instructions it's a little different tape, but we've got one piece of tape on the bottom here, and then just more of a hook on the top. And what we're supposed to do is peel this off, set this basically in here, and the top piece is just going to snap in underneath here. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. I'm going to peel off the tape. And this mount has 4 pre-drilled holes, where the one down on the center there had 6. So a little different setup. And go ahead and it says set that in there. Rotate down, snap, and then they said to push up underneath here, make sure that locked. There's obviously a little bit of play here and where it can go. That seems a little bit of wiggle on the top. That's why I thought maybe if I wedge it all the way to one side. So a little bit of play, not bad. They don't really say, you know, try and make it go to one side or the other. So that's it. Unfortunately, I don't really have any mounts as of right now, although I have a new mount coming that I want to use on this from QuadLock. I have not played with their stuff before. I've been using all RAM stuff up until this point, but I want to try with theirs because they've got a better phone charger mount than I have found from RAM. Now, RAM has a better one, but not one that I've found. Stay tuned. All right, we're back in the 4Runner. It's been a couple days. We did get the RAM iPad mount in, got it mounted up, liking it really good so far. I didn't bring the iPad out right now, but all you do is just slide it in, hooks on this side, and then clips to this side. Seems to work really good. The one issue with this one is the iPad I have does have a screen cover on it, or screen protector, and it does make a little tight fit for getting into the little clips at the end here. And so it does make it a little difficult to get it in and out of the snap here on the end. No surprise, I mean, it's a tight fit. You don't want it to rattle around a lot. So the cover may need to come off of it at some point, or just live with it. It did have kind of cool, I don't know if I'll ever really use it, but it does have a little mount here to be able to stick the Apple Pencil in, to have that handy. I do have one. I don't know if I'll use it much. I mean, I can really easily just grab here and touch, but I guess if you wanted to use it and have a little longer reach, could be nice. It's pretty standard, just standard RAM mount. Didn't get a chance to film that being put together. But today we did get, last night, we got some parts from QuadLock. And I have not gotten a chance to play with these ever in person. Before this, I have seen them advertised for a long time, and always thought they would be great. We also did get just a USB multi-ports, 3 USB-As, 3 USB-Cs. We've had a lot of trouble with our cigarette lighter plug charger, and also just not having enough. So we've upgraded to that. Ran our cable for our iPad to try and keep it a little hidden. Ran our other one. This one's going up now to a little Garmin GPS unit, the GLO2. That's the GPS that we're going to use for the iPad to actually have signal for GPS, because it doesn't have one built in. And then the white iPhone charger will go away because the new mount is going to have a charger built in. So let's start unboxing and mounting the QuadLock. We have the flat rectangle 2-hole mount. This is part of their 360 compatible. So apparently they started off with some original QuadLock mounts, and they now have this 360 setup, which is really basically a RAM knockoff, but a little different. Looks like they're using kind of this toothed mount instead of balls for the base, but it does have a ball in it. So the next piece would be the dual pivot medium that we've got, which looks just like a RAM arm with 2 balls in it, but then it's got the little geared ends on it. And finally, we're trying the wireless charging head. It's one of the things that's always irritated me in this rig is having to put my phone in the mount. I love these RAM X grips. I absolutely love these mounts. They're great. But I have to put my phone in it, clip it in. Sometimes the buttons get bumped. And then I have to plug a cord in. And now that I have, MagSafe phones are out, why use the plug? And I have a lot of trouble with plugs in my phone anyways. I think it's got just gunk in it, or it's just getting worn out. So for me, the MagSafe is a way to go. I love these, have used them on motorcycles, everything else. They're great, but we have better technology now. And then finally, I do have to have a specific case from QuadLock. So I'm still running an iPhone 13 Pro. This is their mag case. So they have the original QuadLock, but their mag case has basically MagSafe compatible. So they do make a mount just like the QuadLock wireless charger one that I got that's mag, and literally would just stick it on there. I've seen some videos of it. It looks like it could be strong enough to use in an overlanding situation where you're bouncing around, but they also didn't really recommend it. They recommended going up a mount to the wireless one that's still got the actual lock. So you're gonna have to stick it on and twist it, which is pretty cool. Packaging's pretty neat. Designed in Australia, it says. Bummer is it does say made in China, so that part's kind of annoying. This is pretty neat though. Not many packages do this, and it looks like 2 out of the 4 have them. The charging head and the dual pivot don't have this, but they've got this little pull tab on some of it now to make opening the box easier. And kind of cute. For those about to lock, we salute you. Haha. So get that out. All right, so we got a couple different screws here, it looks like. And a base. So I'm not sure. I guess just if you need the extended length, I can extend that out. I'm not sure if we're going to need that or not. So we'll start off with the regular bolt. So this is a hex. So I'm going to have to go get a hex tool. I did not bring any hex wrenches with me. Side note on the RAM mounts here, I did go through my stash of screws and I found an 8 by 1/2 inch. Boy, that's a small guy. 8 by 1/2 inch. It's basically a wood screw. And I don't know if that's got enough threads to bite, but on the mount for the iPad, it did have the ability to use 4 screws. And they are just barely coming through, just a little tip. It's not even enough to hurt myself if I did rub up against it. The Proclip is in a position where you really don't have a reason to stick your hand behind that anyways. But the one up here on the dash, these screws are sticking out at least a 1/2 inch, and they are sharp, so I'm definitely going to use the 1/2 inches on that. So let me go find a hex wrench, and we will move on. All right, so did look through the little piece of paper. It's just warranty paper, not a manual or anything. And went right to the metric wrenches. 3mm fits like a glove. So clearly 3mm. So let's open the arm part here. So the base is just the base with 2 screws, but they did actually provide a wrench in the arm portion. So, okay. And, so we have our option. I guess it looks like there's a nut. So I guess you have, comes with just a screw mount. So we can adjust this, just tighten it down and call it good. Or I'm guessing, so also in here we have a wrench one more screw, the little knob. So that's kind of cool. You can run this either just a flush permanent mount, get it tightened down, set to where you want it, and leave it, or you can put the little knob on it and turn it into more like a RAM mount. It's pretty similar size. It is slightly smaller. I saw in the specs that their balls are a little different size, but they do apparently make, I believe it looks just like this. It's the little geared base, geared cammed, whatever you want to call that, but with a 1-inch RAM ball on it. So they were making a RAM compatible component. The screws that came with the base is actually a smidge shorter than the one that came with the arm. And then, of course, there's a longer one with the base as well for that extension. So, let's see here. Grab our base. So this is interesting. So this is something I do like about RAM, is theirs is kind of springs open. These quad locks want to spring close, which has an advantage, right? Like if I didn't tighten this down, it's going to want to help hold this, and they're actually pretty tight right now as is with it actually unlocked. But I'm going to have to actually like pull it apart to get this apart, it looks like, so, or put pieces together. So that's a different setup. There it came out. I don't know, teach their own, right? Like having the RAMs open themselves is kind of nice for tearing it apart, but it's also can be a problem. So on this one, it seems like if you leave it loose on accident, then it's going to just help hold it. So we might want the slightly longer bolt. This is pretty short. Looks like we're grabbing about halfway into the threads there, so not fully seated all the way down. I don't know if the long bolt's going to be too long. So that gives us that. That's kind of slick, I guess, so you can just kind of pry it out of there, even though it's spring-loaded. So that's not too bad, actually. I mean, you can just snap it on and off. I don't really have to pull it apart. Okay, I can live with that. So let's take a look at the charger part. I'm assuming this has got cords and everything with it. That's kind of what it looked like from their website. So we have a wireless charging head. It's got its own screw with it. Their same little gear. This actually feels like metal. Maybe a little bit of plastic on the front, but it's metal on the back, probably to help dissipate heat. And another, well, that actually looks like it might actually be an instruction manual. And we came with USB-A to USB-C cord. So the charger itself is utilizing a C, so that's cool. I did just get some more USB-C to USB-C cords for the iPad setup in different lengths, and so I may run that because I don't have a lot of USB-C stuff. So being able to use some of the USB-C plugs might be a better advantage for me, so that I keep a couple of USB-A's open for other stuff. And I'll probably switch to the knob, because I do kind of like the knobs on the RAM mounts, but then again, once I get this position, I may not need to move it. So let's go ahead and get this cord out of here. Get our RAM mount off. And throw things around. rig. We just had this in here with a couple of screws. Let's get those out. This is kind of nice, though. They did make a inset here, and I did see it says on the back of it, the back of the package, they've got the, hopefully you can see that in the upper corner there. It was amps pattern, so same as RAM uses on a lot of their stuff. But it does have the specs, 1.9 inches between the holes, 2.7 inches from end to end, and it says it accepts a 10G or M, I've never heard of a 10G, 10G or M5 countersunk fasteners. So I do like that. It's kind of slick that those are sunk in there. It makes a little nicer finish. I do wish I could have found some black screws, but this is what I already had laying around. And I think the store might have had black ones, but they were actually quite a bit of money for just a black colored screw. It's kind of stupid. So hopefully it's just good enough. I do have a little bit longer version of this screw, same number 8, but I think it's a 3/4 or a 1 inch or 5/8 or something. So they're definitely not biting as well now that I've got those holes made bigger, but I think it's going to be plenty fine. It's holding on there pretty good. It's plastic, so we don't want to strip anything out. So pop that bad boy on there. Length is good. The medium, I was curious. It is about the same as, I believe this is a medium RAM, so definitely the same length. So then a matter of where to put the phone. Okay, so I've been in need of a new phone case anyways. This thing has been with me since I bought the phone, and it's done. The color's worn off, the rubber's breaking. This was that Gear 4 with D3O in it. I don't know how much of a gimmick D3O is. It seems like a great technology. Case has lasted me quite a while, although it has been falling apart for years. So here's the new QuadLock case. Like I said, I needed a new case anyways. Definitely a hard plastic on the back. They've got a little bit of foam inside for whatever that's worth. Outer edges are definitely that hard rubber. It reminds me of a, was it Pelican's case? I guess it is Pelican or one of those others. And definitely just a snap-in case. I do have a screen protector on there, I believe, on this one still. No, actually, take that back. I have removed the screen cover on this because it was all broken, chipped too. So haven't put that back on yet. It is definitely a tight fit without that, but this is nice, clean look. It's right up to the edge. It's very smooth though. I could see, I kind of wish it had just a little bit of texture. I mean, my old case was smooth plastic too, but the sides did have a little bit of texture on them, so it just had a little grip. This feels like, especially if it got a little wet, it could like kind of slip out of my hand. So that part, it's okay. But so let's go ahead and plug the cable in just temporarily for the heck of it. And oh, looks like they had another wrench inside there that I just threw out the car. Plenty long cord. Wow, this is going to be way overkill for what I need. This is at least, that's probably a 6-footer. So that's nice. In this day and age, it seems like everybody gives you too short cords most of the time. My wife and I just got brand new Garmin watches, and they come with a 1.5-foot long cable from the factory, which is, all right for charging on your nightstand, but some places that doesn't get you very far. This is way overkill. I think I just got some 3-foot cables, and it's probably even overkill. All right, so moment of truth. It's already trying to charge. and I haven't even put it on all the way. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you just touch it, it's starting to charge, twist lock, and Bob's your uncle. So matter of positioning here. I'm sure I'll tweak with that over a while. I want to be, I don't need to see the knobs of the stereo. I need to see my ham radio, be able to access it. I can find the volume knob pretty easy. It might be nicer if it was over this way, just a hair more. But I also don't want to be like bumping it with my hand on the steering wheel all the time either, right? And even some of the buttons on the ham radio aren't critically important. So for now, I think we'll go right about there. This is where the knob is actually nice, but I could see this like maybe put the knob on it for a while and then after a month or two, just hard mount it. It's pretty slick. Like I said, I've been looking at these for a while. It's gonna take a little bit of practice to find the magic spot there. And I'm already off on where I want it positioned, so that's probably part of it. But I've been looking at these for a long time. I was wishing the other day I was almost going to go for a long bike ride with some friends today. And I was like, oh, I wish I'd ordered the bike mount for it. The handlebar bike mount, because I didn't order one for it because this is the first rig I was going to get it. It was kind of my trial run. But now that I have it, I'll probably get one of these for my car, my daily driver car. I'll just go with the magnet one on that one because I just stick it on. And then my bicycle, this would be great to have, attach it. So I'm sure there's plenty of review videos out there on quad locks. It's the first time I've ever used it. First one I've ever seen in a 4Runner. So far, this is great. This is a huge, just playing with it here, that's going to be a huge improvement for me. It was clear up here. Not a bad spot. I've gotten irritated with suction cups falling off the windows all the time. First impressions, like I said, this is going to be a great setup here. I can drive. I can pull up Onyx here. So the idea is, of course, I'm going to run Onyx on the iPad mostly. But if I want to, I can just be driving, look over here, have the bigger screen here. Maybe if I've got a second passenger, they can run this. If Liam's with me and he wants to run Onyx over there, then we both can have our own maps. Excuse me. But right here handy, I still have my stereo. And you know what? Even if I need to see some of this stuff, all I got to do is just lean over a little bit. I can get it. To me, HVAC, much more important than the stereo. The windows, the four-wheel drive. I like the info displays in here. I think I can find my way around the stereo pretty well, blind. But like I said, this is already going to be a game changer because that right there, just on off, boom. The location, I maybe still like the old spot a little bit better, but I'm also used to it. This does seem a little awkward, but it's not a half bad spot. Honestly, the ham radio is probably in the prime position, but it's a little harder to mount things with, and I don't think it would fit here very, very well. I think it'd be really awkward. But like I said, doing overlanding, doing just adventuring out in the woods, going for a hike, whatever. I like to have my phone handy, even if I don't have the iPad, which is new to me, so I haven't even tried that out on a real trail yet. But I get to places a lot of times, and I want to jump out and grab a video of a friend doing something on the trail, which I have my DJI camera for that. I also have a couple handheld cameras, but a lot of times the phone's great. Or, hey, we're going to go hike this place and take the trail. I want to grab my phone. So this is going to be really great. Stop, boom, I'm out, go take some pictures, take some video, come back in, back on the charger, and head on down the road. So hope you hope you've appreciated this. It's probably going to be a longer video than normal. We'll do some tidying up, get a different cable for this. This is ridiculous. Save this cord for something else, a spare iPad charger, and get something shorter here. I'll probably run it around the back side of the mount down and hide it. But we'll get that tidied up, get things adjusted, go try them a few times, and probably do a little another, mini review afterwards of how everything's working out. So thanks for joining us.